Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be showing you this Modelones acrylic nail tip kit, and I'm actually going to be following the directions that they sent. And so far I am on day 4 or 5 with doing it how they said to do it, and I haven't had any tips pop off, so I'm surprised. You'll see what I'm talking about the further we get into the nails. It looks like there will be a couple of steps that I usually do missing, but I'm going per their directions, and I did make sure to read them twice to make sure that I wasn't missing anything. But the only thing that I did add that was not included in the kit was a top coat. So their directions say to prep your nails, use the dehydrator, and then use the 4-in-1 tip glue, apply it to the tip itself, and attach it to the nail. There's no primer, there's no gel base, there's nothing going on your natural nail except for the dehydrator before the tip. So I followed the directions and they're holding up great. So just throwing that out there. I like to follow the directions when they come with the kit just to see how it works. So the kit does come with the dehydrator, the 4-in-1 glue. It comes with this lamp, this little mini flash cure lamp. It's got the USB to charge it, and the cord is decently long. So I really like when the cord is a good length so that it actually will fit to the spot where I can plug it up and I don't have to move everything around on my desk in order to make it work. So here are the 2 items that it does come with. I do like that it does have the ingredients on the back, so you are aware of what's inside. I really did like that. Then here is the information about the flash cure lamp. It is an 8-watt lamp, so you can flash cure in there, but you definitely need to fully cure in a larger lamp, at least 48 watts for 60 seconds, just to make sure that everything is fully cured. Here are the acrylic nail tips. I did not size them out. I did not open this package before this video because I wanted to open it on camera for you guys. So this is everything that's included. This is the last item, the tip clipper. So you can cut them down if you are not happy with the length that they are. I leave them because I think they're a good length. But if you would like to cut them shorter, they do have a clipper and it's actually good quality. So I was kind of shocked about that. Usually they're not very good quality, but this one is, and mine broke. That was not good quality, so came in good timing. So moving on to the tip sizing. So what I like to do is like to pull all the sizes out just to kind of see, and the sizes go from 0 to 9. So what I like to do is I like to choose the size that I usually am in other tips. So I usually wear a 0 or a 1 in like my normal tip size, so I figured let's try a 0. And in trying the 0, I was like, oh my goodness, this tip is way too big. Like you can see how big it is hanging off my sidewall. So a 0 is too big. So then I go to a size 1 because I'm like, okay, well maybe a size 1 would be good, but I always want to try the sizes just to be sure to see what's gonna fit. So I put it on my one side wall and I hold it and I put it to the other side wall, and that's a pretty good fit. So I usually wear a 0. So the size 1 was good fitting, but if you have like really wide thumbs, I wouldn't recommend this one because my thumbs are not that wide and the size 0 was barely hanging off. So I mean, if you have extra wide thumbs, I wouldn't recommend it. Or you can do the hack where you put 2 tips together, or there's lots of different ways, but it won't fit without you doing something extra to it. That's all. So I continue to try all of the tips to see if the 2 was going to fit, but you see how much left over of my nail there is. So a 2 is definitely not going to fit. So a 1 is the way to go. A 0 is too big and a 2 is too small. So even if I had to make a little bit of adjustments with the size 1, it's still the best option. And it does fit my nail perfectly anyway, so I didn't really have to do any adjustments. But I do have to do an adjustment to one of them, which I do show you. Now I'm just trying the rest of them because my middle finger isn't too far down from my thumb, but I continue to try them all, and I do show you me trying all of them on my nails just to show you how I size my nails out. So now I'm going to go in with the size 4 and just kind of size out my middle finger because as I'm going down in size, I know that my thumb is the biggest and then my middle finger is going to be the next size. And then from there, my middle finger will be one size, and then my index and my ring finger are generally the same size. So it'll be the one size usually under my middle finger. So the next two are going to be size 5. And I just like to make sure that the nail tips fit from sidewall to sidewall, that they fit really good. You want to make sure that you're getting the proper size because prep is important and choosing your nail tip size is important just for the longevity of the nail. Also, I don't know if y'all are noticing because I'm moving a little bit quick, but the nail tips are half matte. So you don't have to etch the underside of them if you don't want to, but I would if you want them to last longer. I mean, I haven't had any problems yet with them because I did nothing extra to them. But if you want them to last longer, there are definitely more steps to take. But I really wanted to follow the directions for the kit to see how long they would last. Like if I was buying this and knew nothing about nails, I really wanted to see how long they would last. So I can honestly say they were easy to use. They're very sturdy. I've had none pop off. They're working really well, so I have no complaints. And I even put them on my natural nails too. All right. So my pinky on my left hand is smaller than my pinky on my right hand, and this is the smallest tip size. And as you can see, it is still too big, but there are no smaller tips. So a 9 is what I'm going to have to use. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to take the file that came with the kit and I'm just going to file around the cuticle line and cuticle area and a little bit on the bottom of the sidewall just to make the tip fit my nail. So if you ever get tips that don't quite fit your nails, you can adjust them to fit you specifically, or if you take clients to fit their nails specifically, because that is the beauty of doing your own nails or doing the nails for somebody else. You can completely customize them to you. So I just want to fix the tip to fit my pinky, and it is super small. This one on this hand is a size smaller than the one on my other hand. I don't know why, it just happened to work out that way. So the pinky tip fits on my right hand perfectly fine with no problems. I don't have to do any adjustments, but I wanted to leave that in to show y'all that is super quick, super easy to adjust. So now I have all my tips sized out. I have them laid out right there. And now I'm going to just get everything set up. I went ahead and plugged in my flash cure lamp. It's pretty bright, and the space in there is not a whole lot of space. Like for me personally, I don't like the bottom and the top attached like that. I like it to be a little bit further away because I'm very clumsy when it comes to putting my hand in the lamp. So I just like it to be a freestanding thing, if that makes sense. Now I'm just going to take a Sharpie and I'm just going to label what finger is what size since they're not in a container. I just like to not have to size them out every time so that I can just pick the bags up and I know that the 1 goes on my thumb, the 5 goes on my ring and my index, my middle finger is a size 4, and then the pinky is a size 9. Now, I already did my prep off camera, like my cuticle prep and my natural nail prep. I have nothing on my nails. Now, I know I usually say that I have a layer of builder gel or rubber base or something, but I do not for this video. I wanted to do it on my natural nails just to see if I would have any lifting or anything like that. And so far, so good. Now, all I'm doing is I am applying the primer to my natural nails, keeping it off of my skin and just on the nail itself. And what you want it to do is you want it to look like it's going to look super dry. The dehydrator does just that. It dehydrates the nails. It takes all of the moisture, oils, and everything out of your nails so that you can go ahead and get to working on putting the nails on. Now, like I said, I don't have any gel base, I don't have any primer. I have a 4-in-1 nail glue. And what it says to do is after the primer or after the dehydrator dries completely, you take the 4-in-1 and you put it inside the nail tip and apply it to your nail, and then you flash cure it on your nail. So that's what I'm going to do for all of the nails. Now, you can see that the tip is matte down there, so I just cover the part where it's matte, and then I leave a little bit of a bead at the base of the pinky. But I didn't really know how much I was going to need, So I didn't quite put enough on there, and I realized that when I got the tip on that it wasn't quite going to the free edge of the nail. So all I did was I slid it off and I wiped off the nail really good with alcohol, and then I went back in and I went ahead and I just tried it again, but I put a little bit more of the 4-in-1 glue at the base of the nail, and it ended up working out great. So if you ever mess up, just slide the nail off like I did and then just wipe the nail off and start over. You just want to make sure you're getting no air bubbles, that you're getting complete coverage on the entire nail. These are just little things that will help your nails stay on longer. All right, so now you want to make sure your nail is straight. I usually try to turn my flash cure lamp on before I put the nail on so that I'm not fumbling anymore. But like, here's what I mean about trying to squeeze my fingers in the lamp. For me, it's just a little bit awkward, so I like the freestanding ones where there's not a top and a base attached that close together. I like them to be spread more apart, or if it has like a gooseneck type lamp, it's just easier for me to use. Now also, I flash cure for about 10 seconds, and then what I'll do is if I see any gel kind of seepage, I'll take my cuticle pusher and I will just detach, like if any of the hyponychium or skin under there attach, I just run the cuticle tool right there just to make sure that it doesn't attach to my skin and that everything works great so that I don't have any weird grow out or anything like that. And then I will flash cure it again for about another 10 seconds. So it's on there, it's good to go, and now I'm just going to continue on with the rest of the nails. I'm going to do them the exact same way, and then I will just let you watch that process, and then I will come back a little bit later and kind of explain what I'm doing in a little bit. so now I went ahead and I put my hand in my big lamp for 60 seconds to make sure that everything is fully cured. Now it is time to get that little thing off the free edge. It's where the tip is attached to like the strand. I know y'all have seen the tips that come attached to like a plastic thing. They're on like a string. That's what I'm just filing off the tip and just perfecting that straight edge. And I'm just using the file that came with the kit, and it works perfect. So I really don't have any issues with that. So all I'm doing is perfecting that part right there. Just making sure that it looks nice, because nobody wants that little tip part on the free edge. You want them crisp and nice. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to fix the cuticle line. So what I like to do is I like to take this hands-free file. Like, you can use any e-file you want, but I've just really liked using this one. And I'll turn it on, and I'm using this small mandrel bit again. Like, y'all know how I feel about this if y'all have been around here for a little minute, but the small mandrel bit is really, really nice. What I'm going to do now is called sealing the cuticles. I am going to put a mat down, like I say a mat. This is a puppy dog pad. They work really well. I've spilled acetone plenty of times, and it just covers it. Also collects the dust. I do have a dust collector, but I really just didn't feel like putting it out. I wasn't going to be doing a whole lot of removal. All I'm doing is just wanting to catch that extra bit of dust so that it doesn't land on my silicone mat. All I'm doing is cleaning up the cuticle line just a little bit, sealing it in, just making it mesh with my natural nail and my cuticle line. Because what I like to do is I like to do this part just if any excess gel snuck out the side, which it did for a couple of them. I just seal it a little bit, and then after I'm done with this part, I will also use a little bit of acetone just to kind of melt the edge of the tip to my natural nail, just to kind of give it more of a seamless look. So this is just something that I like to do, but you totally could have been done with just putting the tips on and you go straight into your manicure. Like, you didn't have to do this step. It's just an extra step. So, I mean, personal preference. If you want to do something really quick, you just put the tips on, throw some polish on, and you can be out the door. But these extra little steps just take it to the next level, just in my opinion. I mean, I'm not a professional or anything, but I mean, it's just my opinion. I feel like that if you do these extra little things, number one, it can help longevity. Number two, it can just help the nails look more natural and not just like press-ons. So, though I have been using press-ons and I have been doing press-ons and they look really good. The press-ons that we had like 10, 15 years ago versus now, completely different things. But anyways, moving along, now I'm going to take the shine off of the nail tips, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of that 4-in-1 gel on top of the tips, and then I'm going to put a top coat on it. But removing the shine allows gel to adhere better. So I am going to remove the shine from the nails, and then I'm going to put acetone on the cuticle line just to help seal it in just a little bit. Just extra little steps, like I was just saying. Those little things really do matter. Removing the shine will help the chipping of the gel. It will help it adhere better. It'll give it more of a grippy surface. This is a flex file. It's not a buffer. I know it looks like a buffer, but it's a flex file so that I don't injure my cuticle line. I like to make sure that after I do a fresh set, I like to use the flex file, just because I can really slice my hands open with a file if I'm not paying attention, and I know my nails and my cuticles and everything are already feeling a little sensitive after applying the tips themselves. So I just like to be very gentle. So a flex file is my go-to usually after applying the tips. So all I'm doing is I'm removing the shine, and then I'm going to do the acetone at the cuticle line. But I want to clean the tips off, and I will use alcohol to scrub them clean just to get all of the nail dust off. Because, I mean, there is a little bit of the nail dust that's going to be there from doing the filing. And then it will look nice. It'll be ready to go for the 4-in-1, which is like, the 4-in-1 says it can be a gel base, a strengthening gel. It can be used to apply your tips, and it can be used for a rhinestone glue. So it can be used for all of those things. So I kind of used it on top of my tips as a gel base and a nail strengthening gel. So, and then I put a top coat on top of that. And the top coat is not included in this kit. So just be mindful of that. If you're going to be doing this process, you will have to pick up a top coat. Modelones has a great top coat as well. So now I'm just sealing the cuticle line, which just kind of helps melt it into my natural nail. Just those extra things. You don't need a lot of acetone because you don't want to start like dissolving the tip. So just make sure that you're like not generously applying the acetone because you will melt the tip. You don't want to be doing that. You just want to kind of melt just the edge to seal it. You don't want to have acetone running all the way up the tip. You just want to keep it at the cuticle line and like the side walls. That's it. It just, to me, gives it like a seamless look. But after this, then that's when I'm going to hop into doing the 4-in-1 gel, and then I'm going to put a top coat on, and then I will show y'all what it looks like at the end, and I will hop back and talk about my thoughts on this kit at the end. so I have already top coated everything, and also a little trick to get the numbers off of the bottom is to use a little bit of the 4-in-1 underneath the tip and then apply the top coat. You don't have to do the 4-in-1, but I like to do it just to give it a little bit of extra strength. But I put the 4-in-1 underneath and I put the top coat underneath so that not only are my tips not going to look super filthy with them being clear, they're not going to have that number anymore. I think that's just a super cool trick. I saw that somewhere and now I can never not do it with clear tips. So just throwing that out there. Also, I got all of my tips on straight. They are looking really good. I have absolutely no complaints about this kit, and I loved it so much I went ahead and did my other hand. So I did my other hand off camera because it was very repetitive, but I loved this kit. I've had nothing. It's been 4 days and I've done a lot of hair washing, bathing babies, and everything. So if you're interested in a super user-friendly, beginner-friendly kit, I will leave it linked down in the description box for you guys. Don't forget, when you grab this kit, grab a top coat as well. I will link both of them, and you'll have to let me know your thoughts on this kit in the comments. I hope y'all have a wonderful rest of your day. Thanks for watching, and I will catch y'all on the next one.